As we age past 60, one of the biggest silent threats we face is muscle loss. Doctors call it sarcopenia, and the statistics are terrifying. After 60, we lose up to 8% of our muscle every single decade, and after 70, that number can double. That's why so many seniors complain of weakness, struggling to get out of chairs, or even falling when they used to walk confidently. The tragedy is that most people think the solution is just eating more eggs or drinking expensive protein shakes. But what if I told you that eggs are not the only answer and, in fact, there are cheaper, simpler foods that can build even faster, protect your strength, and keep you independent well into your 80s and beyond. You see, research from top universities has revealed that certain overlooked things you probably pass by in your grocery store every week, car-packed with special proteins, amino acids, and nutrients that fuel muscle growth just as effectively as eggs, sometimes even more. And the best part, they're affordable, easy to cook, and proven to work in seniors over 60. In this video, we're going to count down the 5 most powerful muscle-building foods you can eat after 60. Starting with number 5 and working our way to the ultimate food at number 1. These aren't exotic supplements, and they don't cost a fortune. They're practical, accessible, and backed by real science. Stay with me, because some of these choices will surprise you. In fact, food number 2 on this list is something most seniors avoid because they think it's unhealthy. Yet, the latest studies show it's actually a secret weapon for muscle strength. And food number 1, so cheap you can buy a whole week's worth for less than the cost of a single carton of eggs. So let's dive in, because if you want to stay strong, independent, and full of energy even in your 70s and 80s, these 5 foods could completely change the way your body ages. Number 5, cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is one of those foods that many seniors forget about. Yet it's been sitting in grocery stores for decades as one of the cheapest, most reliable sources of protein you can buy. What makes cottage cheese so special is not just its high protein content, it's the type of protein. Cottage cheese is rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that steadily releases amino acids into your bloodstream for hours. For older adults, this is a game changer. Why? Because our bodies become less efficient at building and maintaining muscle as we age. Instead of a quick spike of protein that disappears in an hour, casein gives your muscles a long, steady supply of the building blocks they need. That means less muscle breakdown overnight and more strength preserved every single day. A half-cup serving of cottage cheese has about 14 grams of protein, which is the same as 2 large eggs. But unlike eggs, cottage cheese also provides calcium, which strengthens your bones, and probiotics if you buy the live culture variety, which supports gut health. Studies published in the Journal of Nutrition and Gerontology have shown that seniors who eat cottage cheese regularly experience better muscle recovery after exercise compared to those who rely only on eggs. Even something as simple as climbing stairs or walking around the block can feel easier when your muscles have that extra support. Another hidden advantage? Cottage cheese is extremely affordable. In the US, you can buy a container for under $3 and it will last you for multiple meals. Compare that to the rising price of eggs or protein powders. And you see why this humble food is making a comeback in senior health circles. And here's the best part, it's versatile. You can eat it plain with a little pepper, mix it with fruit for a sweet snack, or even blend it into smoothies to make them creamy and protein-packed. Let me give you an example. A senior gentleman in Florida, aged 74, started adding just half a cup of cottage cheese before bed each night. Within 3 months, he noticed not only that he felt stronger in his morning walks, but his doctor reported better muscle retention on his checkups. That's the power of slow-digesting protein. It works while you sleep, literally protecting your muscles during the hours when your body is most vulnerable to breakdown. Number 4. Lentils. Lentils are one of the most underestimated powerhouses when it comes to senior nutrition and muscle strength. For generations, lentils have been considered poor man's food. But in reality, they deliver a nutrient profile that rivals expensive protein powders and meat. A single cup of cooked lentils has around 18 grams of protein, more than 3x incomes, packed with complex carbohydrates that fuel your energy throughout the day. For seniors, this combination is gold, because it not only feeds your muscles, but also keeps your blood sugar stable and your stamina high, helping you stay active and independent. What sets lentils apart is their unique amino acid balance. While some plant proteins are incomplete, lentils are especially rich in lysine, an amino acid critical for muscle repair and recovery. When paired with simple foods like rice or whole wheat bread, lentils become a complete protein source, giving your body all 9 essential amino acids it needs to build and maintain muscle mass. In fact, researchers from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlighted that older adults who included lentils or other legumes in their weekly meals had significantly higher lean muscle mass compared to those who relied mainly on meat or eggs. Another huge advantage of lentils is their fiber. Seniors often face digestive problems, from constipation to poor nutrient absorption. Lentils provide soluble and insoluble fiber, which not only improves gut health, but also enhances the way your body processes protein. A healthy gut means your muscles can actually use more of the nutrients you eat instead of letting them go to waste. This is something many seniors don't realize. Muscle growth isn't only about protein intake. It's also about how efficiently your body absorbs and uses it. Beyond that, lentils are incredibly affordable. A 1-pound bag costs just a couple of dollars and can stretch into multiple meals, unlike eggs or meat, which can spoil quickly. Dried lentils have a long shelf life, making them perfect for seniors on a budget or those who want to keep nutritious food stocked at home without frequent grocery trips. To make it even better, lentils are extremely versatile. You can add them to soups, stews, salads, or even cook them with herbs and olive oil as a side dish. In India and parts of the Mediterranean, lentils have been a staple for centuries, and those populations are known for their longevity and resilience into old age. One inspiring case study from Greece reported that older adults who regularly ate lentils as part of their traditional diet retained stronger leg muscles and lower risk of falls compared to those who rarely included legumes. For seniors over 60, lentils are more than just a budget-friendly option. They are a scientifically proven, time-tested food that can help keep your muscles strong, your digestion smooth, and your independence intact. Number 3. Salmon. Salmon may not be the cheapest option compared to lentils or cottage cheese, but when it comes to pure impact on senior muscle health, it's a superstar. What makes salmon so powerful is not only its high-quality protein, about 20 grams per 3-ounce serving, but also its unique combination of omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and anti-inflammatory compounds that work together to protect aging muscles. For seniors, this is crucial because after 60, your muscles don't just weaken from lack of protein, they also suffer from chronic low-grade inflammation that makes it harder to recover from exercise or even daily activities. Salmon directly fights that problem. Let's break it down. The protein in salmon is considered high biological value, meaning it contains all the essential amino acids in the right proportions for your body to use effectively. But unlike eggs or chicken, salmon adds an extra layer of protection with its omega-3 EPA and DHA. Studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have found that seniors who consumed omega-3 rich fish like salmon at least twice per week showed a 30% better muscle protein synthesis compared to those who ate little or no fish. That means your body literally builds muscle more efficiently when you eat salmon beyond muscle. Salmon's vitamin D content supports bone health, another critical issue for seniors. Weak bones and weak muscles combined are the #1 reason older adults face falls and fractures. By regularly eating salmon, You're not only strengthening your muscles, but also reinforcing the skeletal foundation they rely on. Think of it like building a strong house. You need both sturdy walls and a solid frame. There's also the cardiovascular benefit. Seniors often battle heart disease, and inflammation plays a huge role. The omega-3s ES in salmon lower inflammation markers, improve circulation, and enhance oxygen delivery to your muscles during activity. This means that even a walk around the neighborhood can feel less tiring because your muscles are getting more of what they need to perform. One real-life example comes from a senior exercise program in Washington State. Participants over 65 who added salmon to their diet twice weekly reported not only greater strength improvements in leg press exercises, but also faster recovery times. Trainers noticed they could push a little harder without feeling as sore the next day. That's the salmon effect, nutritional power that works on multiple systems at once. Now, what about cost? While fresh salmon can be pricey, there are budget-friendly options. Canned salmon is surprisingly affordable, and it still contains the same protein and omega-3 benefits. Many seniors overlook it, but just one small can provides enough nutrients for a muscle-building meal, paired with whole grain toast or mixed into a salad. It's both economical and effective. So while salmon may not be as cheap as lentils, its unique nutrient profile makes it one of the most strategic foods you can eat for muscle retention and recovery after 60. It's an investment in strength, independence, and healthy aging. Number 2. Beef. For years, many seniors have been told to stay away from red meat, fearing cholesterol, heart disease, or digestive issues. And while it's true that excessive consumption of fatty cuts can cause problems, the latest research shows something surprising when eaten in moderation and in the right form. Lean beef can be one of the most powerful tools for preserving and building muscle, even into your 70s and 80s. The reason is simple: beef delivers not only high-quality protein, but also creatine, iron, zinc, and vitamin B12, all of which play critical roles in maintaining muscle strength and overall energy levels. Let's start with protein. A 3-ounce serving of lean beef has about 25 grams of protein, more than salmon, more than eggs, and more than cottage cheese. But it's not just the quantity, it's the digestibility. Beef protein is absorbed quickly and efficiently, giving your muscles an immediate boost of amino acids they can use for repair and growth. That's why athletes and bodybuilders have relied on beef for decades. For seniors, this becomes especially important because, as we age, our bodies require more protein per meal to trigger the same level of muscle building as in younger years. Beef is one of the few foods that can deliver that high-protein punch in a small serving size. Now, let's talk about creatine. Most people think creatine only comes in supplement form, but in reality, beef is one of the richest natural sources. Creatine fuels your muscles during short bursts of activity, standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, or lifting a grocery bag. These might seem like small movements, but for seniors, they're the difference between independence and dependency. Studies in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging have shown that older adults who consumed natural dietary creatine through beef performed better in strength tests than those who avoided it. Iron and B12 are also crucial. Seniors often suffer from fatigue, weakness, or even dizziness due to low iron or B12 levels. Beef naturally provides both, helping maintain healthy red blood cells and improving oxygen delivery to your muscles. When your muscles get more oxygen, they don't tire as easily, which means you can stay active longer. The key here is moderation and choosing the right cut. Lean cuts like sirloin, tenderloin, or 90% lean ground beef give you all the benefits without the excess saturated fat. Pair it with vegetables or whole grains, and you've got a balanced, muscle-fueling meal. Here's a real-world story. A 68-year-old woman in Arizona who had avoided red meat for years, started incorporating lean beef twice a week under her nutritionist's guidance. After 3 months, not only did her energy levels increase, but her grip strength, one of the strongest predictors of longevity in seniors, improved significantly. She was amazed that something she had been told was bad for her turned out to be exactly what her body needed. So while beef may come with a controversial reputation, the science is clear when consumed wisely. It's one of the most effective, natural muscle-preserving foods for seniors. Sometimes the foods we fear the most hold the greatest hidden benefits. Number 1. Beans. When most people think of building muscle, beans are the last food that comes to mind. They're cheap, humble, and often overlooked in favor of flashy protein powders or expensive cuts of meat. But the truth is, beans might just be the most powerful food seniors over 60 can eat to maintain strength, energy, and independence, and they do it for just pennies per serving. What makes beans so extraordinary is that they don't just deliver protein. They offer a complete package: plant-based protein, complex carbohydrates for energy, gut-strengthening fiber, minerals like magnesium and potassium, and phytonutrients that actively reduce inflammation. In other words, beans fight on multiple fronts, the very battles seniors face most as they age. Let's start with the protein. A single cup of cooked beans, whether black beans, kidney beans, pinto, or navy, contains about 15 grams of protein. That's nearly the same as eating 2 large eggs, but with the added benefit of fiber, something animal proteins can't provide. For seniors, this matters because fiber helps regulate digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and support a healthy gut microbiome. And here's the secret connection: a healthy gut directly improves the way your body uses protein. That means the protein in beans actually works harder for you than you realize, because your gut bacteria help break it down and deliver it where it's needed most. Your muscles, the affordability is another massive advantage. For less than $2, you can buy a bag of dried beans that provides more protein than multiple cartons of eggs. For seniors living on fixed incomes, this isn't just a health choice, it's a survival strategy. During times of rising grocery prices, beans remain one of the most stable, reliable sources of nutrition you can find. But the story goes deeper. Research published in the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society revealed that seniors who ate beans or other legumes at least 3 times per week retained significantly more lean muscle mass and had a lower risk of disability compared to those who avoided them. Even small, consistent servings of beans were linked to better grip strength, improved walking speed, and reduced risk of falls, all critical markers of independence. Beans are also one of the best anti-inflammatory foods on the planet. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the silent killers of muscle in old age, making recovery slower and injuries more common. The antioxidants and phytonutrients in beans directly target this inflammation, soothing your body from the inside out. It's no wonder that in the world's blue zones, regions where people regularly live past 100, beans are a dietary staple. From Costa Rica's black beans to Italy's cannellini beans, seniors who thrive into old age almost always have beans on their plates. Here's a powerful example. A 72-year-old man in California, who had struggled with fatigue and gradual muscle decline, was encouraged by his doctor to start adding beans into his weekly diet. He began eating black beans 3 times a week, often in simple soups or paired with brown rice. 6 months later, not only did his muscle strength improve, but his blood pressure stabilized, his cholesterol dropped, and he felt lighter and more energetic. For him, beans became more than food, they became medicine. Beans are versatile too. You can add them to salads, soups, casseroles, or even mash them into spreads. They adapt to any flavor profile, which means you never get bored and you always have a way to fit them into your meals. And unlike eggs, beans can be stored for months without spoiling, making them a dependable ally in every senior's kitchen. So here's the truth. While eggs have long been hailed as the gold standard for protein, the quiet champion sitting on your pantry shelf may be even better. Beans are cheap, powerful, and scientifically proven to protect your strength and independence even at 80 years old. We've just counted down 5 of the most powerful, affordable foods that can keep your muscles strong and your independence alive well into your 70s and 80s. Cottage cheese, lentils, salmon, beef, and the ultimate champion, beans. And the surprising truth is this: you don't need expensive powders, complicated diets, or constant trips to specialty stores. Strength after 60 doesn't come from luxury, it comes from consistency. From simple choices you can make at every meal, and from foods that have stood the test of time. The tragedy is that so many seniors are told to simply accept weakness, to believe that getting older means giving up your strength, your energy, and even your freedom. But science is clear: age may slow us down, but it does not have to stop us. Every meal you eat is a chance to either speed up muscle loss or fight back against it. And with these 5 foods, the fight is on your side. Imagine this: being able to lift your grandchild without pain, to climb a flight of stairs without stopping to catch your breath, or to walk confidently down your street knowing you won't stumble. These are not small luxuries. They are the foundation of a life worth living, and they are within your reach, no matter your age. If you give your body the fuel it needs, cottage cheese fuels your recovery while you sleep. Lentils stretch your grocery dollar while protecting your muscles and your gut. Salmon arms you with omega-3s south to fight inflammation and keep your bones strong. Beef gives you creatine, iron, and high-density protein for immediate energy and repair. And beans, the humble bean, tie it all together, offering muscle strength, gut health, affordability, and longevity in one perfect package. The question now isn't whether these foods work. The evidence is overwhelming. The question is whether you'll take the first step to put them on your plate this week. Because the earlier you start, the longer you protect your strength. And even if you're already 70, 75, or 80, it's never too late to see results. Your muscles can respond, your energy can improve, and your independence can return. So the choice is yours. Will you let age steal your strength? Or will you fight back with the power of simple, affordable foods that have been hiding in plain sight all along? I want to hear from you. What food on this list surprised you the most? And which one are you planning to add to your diet first? Share your story in the comments below, because your experience might just inspire another senior to take their first step toward a stronger, healthier life. And if you found value in this video, remember, subscribe for more tips that could save your health and extend your independence. Because sometimes it's not about living longer, it's about living stronger.